Welcome to the third session of the basic course on the end time. In this session, we'll discuss God's judgments during the end time. Let us recap the previous session. We saw that in Daniel chapter 9, God apportioned to Israel 70 groups of 7 times to finish his judgment upon Israel. 69 of those sevens, 483 times, or 483 years, occurred from the time of the commandment going forth to rebuild Jerusalem until Christ's crucifixion. But there remained one last 7, which still has not occurred. These last 7 times, or 7 years, mark the end of this age. I refer to them as the end time. We also saw that those 7 years were split in half. The Antichrist will make a pact with Israel for the 7 years, but in the middle of it, he will break the pact. That midpoint marks a great turn, not just to Israel, but on the whole earth. That last 3.5 years is called the Great Tribulation, or more appropriately, the time of trial. It is the time of God's judgments upon the earth. God's judgments start at that midpoint. If you recall from reading the Bible, up until that time, everything will go on pretty much as people expect. The Lord said that that time will come as a snare to all those who judge on the earth. And Paul said, when people say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come upon them. It's this midpoint to which both the Lord and Paul are referring. It is this midpoint at which the upheavals on earth begin. These start with the 6th seal. If you'll read Revelation, you'll see the 6th seal includes an enormous firestorm of meteors striking the earth. It also includes an enormous earthquake that shakes the whole earth, moving every mountain out of its place. This is the beginning of God's judgments. And it is not the most serious. It is simply a warning of what is to come. It is the precursor. This 6th seal gives mankind a short period of time in which to seek some kind of refuge from what is about to come on the earth. Again, if you will read Revelation, you'll see people hiding in caves under the earth. Why? Because they see what is about to happen. And what is about to happen is described in the opening of the 7th seal and during the first 4 trumpets. These are all part of one great event. When the meteors strike the earth during the 6th seal, mankind will not only be shocked, but will seek to find where these came from. And in so doing, they will see what is about to happen. They will see not just more meteors, more asteroids, but huge pieces about to strike the earth. These are so large as to cause many to think that it is the end of mankind, that God is finally judging the earth for all the evil going upon the earth. When the 7th seal is opened, there's a great calm, a great quiet in heaven. This indicates the seriousness of what is about to occur. it is almost as if God is pondering whether he really wants to do what he is about to do. So many will die, both mankind and of the creatures. So many will die. It is an incredibly serious moment. But finally, Christ takes fire from the altar before God and casts it to the earth. With that, there's another great earthquake. When Revelation talks about great earthquakes, these are earthquakes like man has never seen before. 4 of them are mentioned in Revelation. 1 at the 6th seal, another at the 7th seal. These are enormous earthquakes shaking the whole earth. It's a very difficult time for man. This one great event changes the whole earth. First, the meteor shower with its earthquake, followed by fire from heaven, from the Lord, then followed by the first 4 trumpets. Let us take these one by one. The first trumpet sounds, and fire falls upon 1/3 of the earth, burning all the green grass on the earth and 1/3 part of the trees. If you will check the geography of the earth, you will see there's only one place that this could happen. There is only one place where 1/3 of the earth could be so affected. There's only one place where 1/3 of the earth is contiguous, and that's in Asia. This first trumpet shows fire falling upon Asia, burning the whole of the continent. We can't imagine what kind of a trial that will be to those who dwell in Asia. But God judges Asia because of the evil that is there. That all the green grass on the whole earth is burned up indicates that this trial affects not only Asia, but all of the earth. The second trumpet is perhaps the most serious of the 4. In this, we see a great burning mountain fall into the sea. In John's time, they didn't have the terminology or the scientific knowledge we have today. John described what he was seeing in the best terms that he could, a burning mountain, a great burning mountain. What was he seeing? He was seeing an enormous asteroid striking the earth. How big will it be? Well, John calls it a great burning mountain. It's not that it's just a mountain, but a great mountain burning. This will be an asteroid of enormous size, perhaps 3 or 4 miles across, striking the sea and destroying 1/3 part of it. Again, where could this possibly strike where 1/3 part of the sea would be so affected? There is only one place. That's the Pacific Ocean. This great asteroid will strike somewhere in the Pacific, most likely in the northern half of it. Consider the destruction from this one trumpet. The tsunamis generated by this huge asteroid striking the sea will be unprecedented, probably in the thousands of feet high. The whole Pacific Rim will be destroyed completely. Nothing will remain of the Pacific Rim. From northern Australia to the eastern coast of Asia, up to Alaska, down the western coast of the United States, Mexico, and into South America. It will all be destroyed. I hope we all can receive this word with sobriety. These are serious matters that are about to befall the earth. Can we imagine how many will die? Probably in the billions. And not only will the tsunamis destroy the coast, but consider the shock waves. The earth will shake and tremble with the shock of this impact. That shock will travel all the way through the earth to the southern Atlantic, causing more destruction there. Then the third trumpet will sound. And at that third trumpet, a great star falls into the springs of waters. What is this referring to? Well, again, it talks about the third part. That third part refers once again to the area in Asia, particularly, in this case, to the Himalayan mountains. From the Himalayan mountains flow rivers that water the whole continent. It is those waters that will be struck and poisoned by the asteroid of the third trumpet. By this time, the earth will be nearly uninhabitable, especially in the northern hemisphere. And then the fourth trumpet will sound, and darkness will cover that third part of the earth. That darkness will no doubt be due to all the debris spewed forth from the great asteroid of the second trumpet, as well as from all the meteors passing through the Earth's atmosphere, leaving behind ash and soot. How many volcanoes will erupt at that time, spewing forth even more ash into the atmosphere? This will cause the earth to be darkened over Asia, the Pacific, and in general, the northern latitudes. After those four trumpets, the earth will never be the same again. Consider the effect. There will be no more electricity. There will be no more commerce, at least over most of the earth. Communications will be down. Food supplies will be difficult to find. It will be some time before the earth can even be planted. What a horrible time this will be for those who are left on the earth. But God's judgments are not yet over. There are still the fifth, sixth, and seventh trumpets, which are referred to as the three great woes that are about to befall the earth. The first of those woes is the fifth trumpet, and in this we see the Antichrist coming up out of the abyss, and with him a swarm of locusts. This swarm of locusts is no doubt referring to demons coming up out of the abyss. They will inhabit Antichrist's armies. They will have some kind of weapon that causes pain. And they will use that weapon particularly against Israel. In those days, the pain from that weapon will be so intense that people would rather die, and yet they won't be able to. Through this, God will begin to soften the hearts of the Israelis. Through this, they may begin to open to God and to seek something of God. Then the sixth trumpet will sound sometime later, all still within the last 3.5 years. In that we see 200 million horsemen from the sun rising, sweeping across what? Asia, of course. Sweeping across Asia, heading towards the Middle East. They will kill 1/3 of the people on the earth. We can't imagine the kind of violence and murder that will go on due to these 200 million horsemen. This is the second woe. And finally, at the very end of the last 3.5 years, at the end of the tribulation, the seventh trumpet will sound. And in that seventh trumpet are 7 bowls of judgment. The 7 bowls of judgment are particularly upon Antichrist's empire. If we read that portion in the Word carefully, we will see this is God's judgment upon Antichrist and those who follow him. That seventh trumpet also includes Christ's physical return to earth, the battle at Armageddon, and the destruction of Babylon the Great. The tumult at that time will be unimaginable. It will be only God's mercy that any human beings would pass through that time alive. God's judgments will end here, in the seventh trumpet, with Christ's return to earth and ushering in the millennial kingdom. That will be a time of peace and joy and righteousness. Let us take the time to study these words. Look at the portions in the Bible and Revelation. Go over these again until we clearly see what the end time is about to bring upon the whole earth. If you wish to converse with me about these matters or anything else, I can be reached at paul@aplaceinthewilderness.com. At the end of this video, you will find a timeline depicting God's judgments during the end time. It also contains some extra information, as well as all the verses that support what we have shared. We will also provide a link to a downloadable copy of that timeline.